What is up, guys? This is Kayak Mike. This video is dedicated to how to measure and submit a fish to an event in 2023 in online catfishing tournaments on the Fishing Chaos app. I did a video on this before, and I'm going to actually use it because I want to put a new video out for 2023, but this is still really good information. So here we go. So here you see the nose. This is how you picture a fish. Nose is bumped. They're laying on their right side. Their left eye is up. You can clearly see the entire fish. There's my identifier for my tournament. It's 25 inches. I suggest leaving them, if you're near a body of water, I suggest leaving them hooked and or on fish grips while you do it. So if they flop off and end up in the water, you shouldn't really have to worry about that too much so in the bank scene. But yeah, that's how you picture a fish right there. And then you go into the Fishing Chaos app and you submit it. Make sure your GPS and timestamp is turned on before you download the app on your pictures. Oh, and one more little trick. I have an 8-ounce sinker in that bag. All right, so let's expand on this really quick. Let's go over here. So this is an event last year, and we will go to my fish as an example. We're going to stay on the slot fish because in years past, in open events, we used to allow anglers to submit fish on their belly or on their right side as long as I saw the left eye. In 2023 and going forward, the only fish you can submit on your belly is a flathead. Every single blue in every single channel, no matter what style of event you are fishing, you must put them on their right side and have their left eye up. There have been complaints sometimes from, and believe it or not, it's mainly boat guys only, that they struggle with the bigger fish, putting them on their right side down, left eye up. We need more consistency going forward, which is why channels and blues have to be right side down, left eye up. Left eye must be visible. If guys in a kayak can do it with 50-pound fish, bank fishermen and boat fishermen, you can figure out how to do it in your respective watercraft and or bank with 50-pound fish as well. So let's go into one of my fish, 29.5. We're going to talk specifically about the slot here first. So the requirements aren't different slot and open. Right side down, left eye up. For channels and blues, you're allowed to submit flatheads on their belly as long as you flatten that tail. Now let's just go to a perfect fish, for example. In our event, in our scene, we're slightly different than some other species, where if I don't believe you're trying to achieve max length in a slot tournament, I will disqualify your fish. So here you see how this tail is pinched? This tail is pinched. This fish is clearly trying to achieve max length. This fish is clearly bumped. It has the identifier for that tournament. The slot limit is 30 inches, so if this tail was 30 touching the 30, it would not count. It would then be an overslot fish. The slot is 30 inches, so we do not count 30-inch fish. The perfect score is 29.75. I also strongly suggest taking video evidence that you cannot break that 30-inch just in case you get questioned. This fish right here is so blatantly obvious that it's not even close to 30 inches. I probably wouldn't even listen to any kind of challenge. But if I suspect that tail is spread at all to get under that slot to achieve that perfect score or to get down to 29.5, I will DQ your fish. And the slot tournament is where I DQ the most fish. Yeah, you have to make sure you are not spreading that fish's tail. The only time I would, and I've used, sorry, Chris, I'm picking on you again. The only time I wouldn't disqualify a spread tail is a situation like this. You see how this fish is 28.25? Even if he brought this tail down, absolute max 28.5. Like, he probably wouldn't even get there. But if you're so far away from the slot and you have that tail spread, that's just kind of on you for screwing yourself some length. Because like that tail could easily have been pinched and got more length. Would it have gotten to that next 0.5 or that next quarter? Maybe, maybe not. But if that was submitted exactly as is, as 29.75, guaranteed disqualification because it's too close to the slot to be questioned. A good rule of thumb is you see how this board is flat. You see how the board, the fish's back is relatively flat. You'll never get this perfect. They all have a little bit of curvature sometimes, but you see how this tail is as straight as I can get it. This tail could not get any straighter, and it's 29.5. Let's go over to this one again. This tail could not get much straighter than with this back. Let's see, is there another fish? He has a 29 and a halfer. Bumped, clearly bumped, straight, straight, straight. There's going to be a little curvature here, and it's straight all the way down to here. This thing is not getting much more than 29.5, if it could even get any farther. But submitting a fish itself is actually really easy. Once you're on the tournament page, there's a submit fish button, and you can go in and you can submit the fish. Very self-explanatory. I'm actually going to pull up the old video I have of that to show you guys. All right, so we're back at the video that I was at originally. This part hasn't changed. The aesthetics might have changed a little bit on the app, but if you follow these steps, this is how you submit a fish on Fishing Chaos. And the beauty is also you can take as many photos as a fish as you want and submit as many photos as you want to one single submission. Um, we will not go through your submission. If let's say you submit 5 photos, I'm not going to pick and choose which aspect of which photo is good and then combine them for a judging decision. What I do is I take the best single photo you submitted, which is giving you your best score, and then that's the photo I use to judge that fish. So for instance, let's say you're having trouble picturing a fish, you take 3 photos. One would be completely disqualified, one would be a 1 inch penalty, one would be a half-inch penalty for various reasons. I'm going to delete your DQ and your 1 inch penalty photo, and I'm going to leave the half-inch penalty photo up, and you're going to get a half-inch penalty on that fish. So I can't pick and choose and take details from one photo to make up for lack of details in the other. But what I will do is take your best submission, your best photo for that submission, and we will work with that one. So let's go to how to submit it on the app itself. So you click on Submit Catch. Again, it looks exactly the same on the app. Click on Species. In this case, it was a blue cat. Any tournament you're in, you could select or deselect any of the tournaments. So we're just going to unselect biggest catfish, and we're going to unselect over. Now, I can leave these selected. It'll still submit the fish, but it will not end up on the leaderboard because the system will automatically only submit this fish to qualifying leaderboards. So actually, I'll leave this for over 30 selected so you can see what I mean. Hit OK. Length, well, I add my photo first. All right, Facebook post. I know this is a 25-inch blue. Type in your length here. You can add more photos if you want. 25 inches. This isn't where I live or anything like that. This is where the GPS is pulling from where you're submitting it. This is not the GPS timestamp of the photo itself. Just remember that. Come down here. Submit. This entry should update to 68 here in a second. There. You see, it's updated to 68. And if you come down here, you will see that I have now got my blue catfish submitted. Back really quick on that. Do not submit your pictures from a computer. Only do it from your phone. I will not get the eSIF data if you do it from your computer. And if I don't get your eSIF data, then I will disqualify your fish. All right, that's how you submit a fish.